Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. My name is George Herrera with the Queens Home Team at Keller Williams Realty. In today's video, I'm talking about off-market listings, open listings, and pocket listings. So these are terms that are not so common, but if you're in the market to buy or sell, you may hear these terms and you may wonder just what exactly they are. And so here's just a brief explanation of each one in case you do come across these terms and need to know just what they mean exactly. So what's an off-market listing? An off-market listing is really just a listing that is not on a multiple listing service or on a broker MLS, a broker platform, right? So like in Rebney, they have RLS, OLR. In Queens and Long Island, you have the One Key MLS. Either way, an off-market listing is just that. It's a listing that is not on the market. So what we call a being on the market is being on a multiple listing service, being on a broker platform. That's when you're officially on the market. So off market just means, let's say for example, a neighbor that wants to sell and you know of a neighbor that's looking to sell but they aren't on the MLS, then you know that's an off market listing because they've already expressed interest to sell but they aren't exclusively signed with a broker. They aren't publicly on the MLS or on a MLS. So that would be an off market listing. Now, what's an open listing? So an open listing is actually when a seller they are talking to brokers and they're saying, bring me a buyer. So they aren't willing to sign exclusively with one agent, but they're open to working with agents. So an open listing is just that. It's open to anyone to sell. There's no exclusive agreement. The seller is not bound to any agent at that point. So usually an open listing is like a for sale by owner. A for sale by owner technically can be also an off-market listing, but many times for sale by owners are actively advertising their property. So you will see it maybe on Zillow, you might see it on websites, they might have a sign in the yard. So really it's not so much off market. They're on the market, they just have very limited exposure because they usually aren't on the broker platforms or on the MLS. Whereas, so an open listing is when you usually have someone, a seller, who is open to working with agents, obviously working with buyers also. They just aren't looking to sign exclusively with any particular agent. So they say, bring me a buyer and you get the deal. That's an open listing. There's no loyalty on behalf of the seller to the agent or any agent to the seller. There's no fiduciary duty or no exclusive relationship there. So that's an open listing. Now, a pocket listing would be when there is an exclusive agreement. So a seller has actually hired an agent to represent them and to sell the property, and it's scheduled to go live on the MLS and actually get full exposure. But what happens with a pocket listing is where the agent actually doesn't put it on the MLS yet. So that's why it's called a pocket listing, because they try to keep the listing in their pocket and their goal is to find a buyer before it goes live on the MLS. So this is not an ethical practice, but it is something that on occasion will happen. And so a pocket listing will mean the seller hires an agent to sell their property. The agent then goes and actively tries to find a buyer for the property before it goes live on the MLS or before it gets fully exposed to the market. So pretty much like having the listing in their pocket, actively trying to find a buyer, and their goal usually is to find a buyer, get an accepted offer, put it in contract so that when it goes live, it'll just go straight into pending status. And we see this on occasion, and usually it's indicative of a pocket listing. Sometimes we'll look up a listing, we'll find a pending sale, and it'll say days on market 0 or days on market 1, meaning it got listed into the MLS and right away it was entered into contract. So you know that they had their buyer before it even hit the market. And usually that could be a sign of a pocket listing. Pocket listings hurt the seller because they don't get full exposure, and you usually will not give the property a full chance to get field offers from all interested buyers and field inquiries from all interested buyers or agents. So again, to recap, off-market listing just means that the property is not on the market. So it's not on any market. It's not on any broker platform, no MLS. This could just be a family member, a friend, a neighbor. You just know about someone who's looking to sell. Many times it could be a distressed owner, someone who's fallen behind on their mortgage payments or maybe facing foreclosure and they need to sell, but they're not on the market, or maybe they don't want to be on the market, but have actually expressed an interest to sell. That would be an off-market listing. Open listing would be someone who is actually actively looking to sell. They're usually advertising their property. This would be where a for sale by owner or a FSBO would fall into this category, where they are looking to sell. They just aren't looking to have an exclusive agreement or relationship with one single agent. And so they leave it open to everyone. It's an open listing. Whoever brings the buyer or whoever wants to buy can buy, and there's no exclusive agreement or loyalty for any agent to the seller or any seller to any agent. And then lastly is your pocket listing. The pocket listing being just like what it sounds like. It's an agent who signs an agreement, a listing agreement with a homeowner, with a seller, and they keep the listing in their pocket, actively try to find a buyer before it goes live on the MLS. And so that's what a pocket listing is. So hopefully that explains the difference between the three. If you have any questions about any of these three different types of listings, or if you hear some other terms out there that you aren't sure what they mean exactly, feel free to drop them in the comments below, or you can always send us a message to queenshometeam.com/help, and we'd be happy to get an answer for you as soon as possible. Thanks as always for tuning in, y'all. Stay tuned for the next episode. Take care and have a great day.